could turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You could make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's magnetic the way you pull me into you.
A bit more than a fairy can do.
Well, I guess now Rich just picks a blind Scion or something like that. Could just gnaw towards the top lane as well. Does deter someone from picking up a Scion into it, as there's the Ezreal for Jiu, and there is that blind gnaw that we were considering. I don't know whether I'm like super enthralled with the gnaw pickup here for Rich, but he has had some decent performances on the champion in the recent future.
It just feels like the Rich classic is just the blind gnaw.
Yep.
Something he's comfortable on, been comfortable on for a lot of his career, and it has ultimately been pretty successful in the LCK this season.
Aurelia time?
Perhaps.
It could be time for him to upgrade his previous performance. Maybe we can get to 0-10.
The pretty stock standard LCK response
Whoa.
seems to not be what she was going for, hovering the Vayne.
All right, let's see whether he does it, and he does lock it in. All right, we are hunting for demons, and let's hope that this prehistoric Yordle is also part demon.
You flick the switch, you know me so well.
Very exciting stuff. Jiu also back after a very long time, as she was going to get hopped on here by Rich. Does have the exhaust, but I don't think that Shiu wins this one, as he's tumbling, and Rich is just going to kill him. Flash! And they kill each other, but first blood goes over to Shiu. And there's a teleport for Rich. So Rich is actually in a much better position. It's a longsword on Shiu. And they are just continuing to fight. One more auto and he's dead! Shiu just finds a solo twice in a row, I guess.
Vision allows Rich to turn it around.
All right, we see it again, as I think Rich missed a boomerang. Although actually hit that last one, just doesn't have the damage. Longsword advantage here for Shiu.
Yeah, he hops in, and as you said, so when the first back came in,
All to try and get this scuttle.
you can't able to move first. Showmaker still has some minions he'd love to clean up, but right now, oh.
Yeah, Shockwave onto Showmaker here, who just flashes away, doesn't want to mess with this at all. And now Korea comes over. That is an Arcane Storm onto the Orianna, and the Gravity Field holds him in it. Okay, Korea.
Yeah, I mean, KRX not wanting to opt into that with the Vayne moving over, being a big threat. Showmaker sacrificing some minions to get in position to help. Right. Mash is level 6, by the way.
The dash in from Shiu as the culling comes down, the barrier comes in, and Jiu just dies. For advantage.
Yeah, so hyped up a little bit, trying to find an angle, overestimates his strength.
Oh, there is the Vault Breaker flash. Shiu is extremely dead. That's right, there is a gnaw, avoided very nicely there, but the wallop is not. Shiu going to be taking some damage there, does use the final hour. Box, I think, almost. As Rich and Shiu are fighting. Look at that, they're hitting each other 3 times, and then after the 3rd time, more happens. More damage.
Oh yeah,
what's pretty cool. That? I think it's Hyper and Silver Bolts. Or a 3-hit passive. As now Shiu's going to get ulted back. Not sure about this one. Final hour does come on down. He's got the exhaust as Rich. I think might have been baited out of that one. The flash over the boomerang is gorgeous. Smash is dead as well, though. And we go 1 for 1 across the rift. All right, really nicely done there.
Levels up on Jiwoo, but unfortunately he's playing into a Vi. He was feeling the 1v1.
Yeah, he wanted it again. Did get a few flashes for his trouble, but will just be punched to death. And that is 488 gold going over to Willa. That's going to cut down the gold lead quite nicely as Siwoo... Oh, dear. Well, Rich is not going to get condemned, or at least not stunned by it, but still going to take a lot of damage here.
They practice this in scrims and they'd win lane all the time, but they just didn't. They were like...
There's no idea why it was winning, as Showmaker is playing this one very effectively. Rich hits Mega, though, and that is going to deny the kill. And Showmaker will be taken out. Willa gets another one. Sharvel comes in, but a little bit too late, as Rich is just teleporting away. And Siwoo just wasted his teleport.
Late. He's still clear in the mid wave. It's just going to be gone.
Yeah, I don't know whether they're going to be able to get in here. Let's see whether Willa can make something happen, as Korea just trying to play bodyguard. They're not going to be able to get to the dragon. But can they find a team fight? That's the question. Siwoo has found Jiu, and Jiu is just going to die, I have a feeling. Instead, Jiu's going to let him live as he's looking to help his teammates. Korea is going to go down, though, as Sharvel gets in there with the Cyclone. Andal going to get popped. As Siwoo and Smash, the double 80 carries, are looking to try and clean up, and they will be able to do so. Siwoo grabs that one against his opposite number. It is a 1 for 3 in favor of D+, and they get Soul Point. Good. This Lucian as well has gone for the Black Cleaver with the double 80 carry comp. I actually kind of like that, as Siwoo, I think, has realized that perhaps he is going to be in a little bit of trouble, as he does try and get rid of the Vi, but that is not quite going to work. The final hour is popped, though, as he goes into stealth, goes out once again, and locking down this Vayne, looking a little bit difficult as he disappears out of the way of the shockwave, and Yukal just finds the air.
To find an opportunity to get in here.
Well, maybe too much, as Rich is going to potentially get caught. Oh, almost slowed down by the concussive blows, as there is the ulti onto Smash, but no follow-up is there at all, and Showmaker eats a fair bit of abuse. There's a bunch of flashes out of the way of Rich, who is unable to find anyone with the ulti.
And then the read here from Smash and Korea is phenomenal.
Oh dear. Andal did not want to go in on that one. Didn't get knocked up, though, by the Glacial Fissure, and will survive, at least for now. But his health bar is so incredibly low. Rich finding another angle here as Smash is flashing away. And the Cyclone comes in from Sharvel. He protects his 80 carry. They get the double knockups. The Gnar is decent, and Showmaker is dead, but so is Willa. And Siwoo is going to show up and look to take him all down. Andal takes a couple of shots, and then he'll fall. And Siwoo, he is on the queen of cleanup, as the Vayne is looking to try and chase down these last few bad guys before they pick off the ace. And Jiu just going to get flashed on here by Sharvel. And the chances of KRX being 0-1 when it does are pretty similar. Okay, Smash is going to get ulted, though. There's an anchor towards him, and it's just going to be the barrier used, and Andal is going to be able to deliver a shockwave, but it just does pitiful damage, and down will go the Nautilus. She was going to chase after Yukal, and with no shockwave, there is no way he's doing anything about that. And the culling is going to cut through Rich. He is very, very dead, and I think that may have been very similar to waving a white flag as KRX throw away 3 of their members in a bit of a, you know, attempted Hail Mary, I guess, before their Nexus turrets go down.
Clean, 11,000 gold ahead as they push to end here.
Now, Willa taking a bit of damage. You can see career is relatively low, but Jiu is going to get exhausted, and I would be exhausted too after a game like this. Down he will go. Willa is going to follow suit. Andal had respawned, but he can go down again. And that is another ace here for D+, and they will be able to take down the first Nexus in this series. A bit of a bounce back here as they finish this game at 13,000 gold in the lead.